All right, babies. I am doing another video. Why the fuck not, man? I'm gonna see how kind of like I flow today. In the previous video, I was discussing BPMs, as in basically business process notations. Process notations the are a disciplined approach to improving performance of an enterprise through the optimization of its processes. Basically, what they do is they write in detail every step that takes and every event that leads to every step. And I was discussing how that's exactly how we engage with our days and how we use these kinds of this scientific method that's been kind of like created to transfer information between different parts of people in an organization or in a build, or just like in order for something to be completed, you kind of like need the steps. And if you're working with teams, you need to explain how the steps are. And it's a visual way to explain them and a visual way to kind of like place them behind each other and show all the differences in like transfers, transactions, events, yes, no, whatever, like how the system or how the construction or how the website or how just the engagement or how just the lecturing or the outline of the day or whatever it is, like you can use them anywhere. And in my head, I kind of use them anywhere, and it makes it easier for me to kind of like demystify some things that are a lot bigger. So if there is a place I need to go or I think something I need to do, I kind of use them in order for me to be able to create the smaller goals in a more realistic way. And it really makes the outlook just simpler. But so I discussed them because I really think that we apply them every day without really noticing. And there's a big value gained if we start looking at things this way. Now, we don't really have to, but anytime we make a decision, we're kind of like saying, if I do this, this will happen. If I don't do this, this will happen, right? So, like engaging in a programmatic way, if else statements with things, and you go like, if I go see my friends, I'm going to be happy. If I sit at home, I'm probably going to be sad, or I might actually be happier because it's a movie I wanted to watch. I don't know. We always have these kinds of things, and I feel like every single thing we do kind of like adds value to us and allows us to like explore this value the next time we go out into society, because we ourselves are kind of like exploring these small intricate things that we like for our own reasons, and it allows us to grow. So in a way, it's the gamification that I keep talking about. It's the whole like society basically being a part of a bigger game, and you kind of like pick the smaller games that you're able to like play until you kind of level up to different games, and you grow and you grow and you grow. And then, well, if I were to explain it better, it'll be like, when you first start. When I first started working when I first started officially working in life, I started off as a bartender. Now I graduated as finance, but I couldn't find a fucking job. So I was working as a waiter at that point, and then I realized, like, no, actually, the first thing you need to do, and that's what happens in university, because they tell you, you work, and then you become a manager, and then you become a CEO, and then maybe you invest and become a consultant. Like you're leveling up, you're playing different games. At first, you're playing the game of employee, and then you're playing a game of salesman, and then you're playing a game of like manager, and then you're playing a game of CEOs, and then you're playing a game of consultants, and then you're playing a game of investor, and like they're separate games, but overall, there's the game of society. There's the whole thing that kind of like encompasses all this. It's society is kind of like the neutral ground. It's supposed to be the neutral ground. It's not, because it's just the countries in a weird way decide the laws. And so, oh, funny. Okay, so no. So countries do decide the laws, but there are different societies within like a country and a city. For example, there's the society for musicians. Say they see the world differently and they interact with each other differently. And the people that enjoy music kind of like have a different approach to the world. And then there's societies for like entrepreneurs, and then they're not official, or a lot of people try to make official like communities for them. And what do they call them? Like we have some here in Lebanon, but they're very much politicized, because like once it becomes a physical thing that exists on ground, that it has to follow legalities. If it follows legalities, then governments interfere, and then politics naturally kind of like seep into it, because it's a position in society, right? Fuck yeah. But so this video today is about the game of society, and it's people's karma and life's karma. And with this, I kind of like was. I think when I wrote this, I noticed like these. It's written in black, and the previous video was written in blue, and this video was written in black, which means it was thought of at another point in time, probably the same day or like a bit later that day. But so people's karma and life's karma, and I feel like there's your own karma, and there's the karma that you absorb from people around you, and then there's overall the karma of life. And I did a video about that the other day because you have to the heavier you want your presence to be in this world. I said heavier on purpose because we cannot look at ourselves. If we want to grow, then naturally we're going to get more attention. It doesn't matter what you want to grow in. You're probably going to get attention from that kind of stuff, and that alone is basically is going to come with its own kind of like karma because the stronger you are, that means the stronger you handle stuff. And just imagine like CEOs of countries or of sorry, CEOs of like businesses, their decision making process has enough people move in order for whatever decision they make to become a reality, and that will impact all the people that interact with that company. So people are attracted to the company, right? But the person running the company is basically attracting its employees, and the fact that the center of it is where the weight of the decisions is the heaviest, where the weight of the words is the heaviest. Uh, a month ago, I don't know what Disney did, man, when it came to Twitter, and like Elon Musk, I think retaliated, and Disney lost about 100 and something million worth of stock. The CEO was kind of like not able to handle the weight of his position, and effectively they have been like doing some bad videos and movies lately, and their kind of theme is a bit horrendous. I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe they're just, I don't know. But anyways, so and somebody that's not yet growing kind of has to start handling more stuff in order for them to kind of like level up. And in society, to play the game of society, you kind of have to play the game of attention because the networking thing that people keep talking about, and it doesn't matter how good you are at your work, you really have to network now because you have to meet the people that are doing the stuff that will support your growth. You really have to like engage with the people that are going to allow you to kind of like blow up, level up, expand, give you opportunities, mentor you, just talk to you in order for you to kind of like get out of your head. And every single one of them is an exchange of karma because every single one of them is like if you're fucking up, you're kind of burning good bad karma. And if you're doing good, you're kind of absorbing bad karma. And because like if you're doing good, you somebody would want to kind of like hear you, listen to your advice, which technically you're helping them kind of like get rid of their karma. And if you're actually getting advice, you're kind of like releasing your bad karma through other people's kind of like weight and position. And it's funny because like these interactions are really the ones that kind of allow you to kind of ping pong your way to like the better positions. And I'm not saying you're doing that intentionally because you're an asshole or you're a selfish prick. You're just doing that because it's the only fun way to actually do things. Because if you just keep doing the same thing you're doing and you're expecting something different to happen tomorrow, there's a high chance you're going to turn insane. And that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. But the game of society is literally being able to like handle people's karma and to get to a point where you handle people's karma because like you're no longer utilizing your own energy in order for you to expand. You're helping others go through theirs. And I think I can end this with like a quote from Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn Uh, uh, I love that dude. He's like an old in the 60s kind of guy. 1960s was like one of those people that like lectured around the States. And he talked about like, I don't want to use 100% of my own power. I want to be able to use 1%. I want to be able to use 1% of my power to attract 100% of somebody else's. But to get to a point where you're able to kind of split your power into 1% each, and to be able to kind of like expand your interaction with people, to be able to engage with them fully, even though you're only kind of utilizing 1% of your energy, requires you to level up your status when it comes to the game you're playing, effectively kind of like burning enough of your karma and like burning enough of people's karma for them to trust you in order for you to be able to like target the karma of life, because then effectively everything you're doing is basically in service of the future that's going to be created through the people that are interacting with you. And that's how you start becoming a pioneer, I guess, in your game, or that's how at the very least you kind of realize that, okay, so whatever I'm doing right now has gained enough momentum for me to be playing the game fully and actually like strategically being able to approach it or something like this. It is a game, any way we look at it. A game of fucking society. And I think our goal is to kind of like deal with life's karma in order for us to start getting the points. Because if we're just dealing with our karma, you're just getting the points that you are able to like produce. But to get more points, you have to kind of like engage with different kinds of production methods. Ooh. It's a video, man. Peace.